Welcome to another episode of Book Rev with Bala on BotchPod.com. As always, I'm your host, Bala Ado, and on this channel, we give book authors the platform to come on the show and in their own words, tell us the message they intend to pass across through their book. On today's episode, we have Dr. Femi Joshua. Good day, Dr. Femi.
Thank you.
And we'll be reviewing his book, The 48 Laws of Selling, the first edition. To start with, Dr. Femi, what inspired you to write the book?
All right. Thank you very much, Bala, for having me. My first inspiration to write the book was through my mentor.
Okay.
In one of my mentorship sessions with him, he made a very valid statement that kept me thinking. He said, a voice without a product is a wasting voice.
Wow.
A voice, any voice, if you're a speaker, you're a trainer, motivator, whatever you do there to, work with people, if you don't have a product, that voice is wasting. Because at the end of your training, conversation, if people cannot go back to your documented thoughts, it doesn't make much meaning. So from that day, I started thinking on how to come up with my own product. And secondly, I was in the program one day. I was invited to speak. I had about other 3 speakers in that event. I spoke for almost 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
At the end of the program, the other facilitators had their own books, and the entire books, the product was sold out. Unfortunately for me, I was the only speaker
that didn't have a book.
that didn't have a book on that platform. And after that meeting that day, I made a personal decision that I must have a product. So basically, those are my 2 inspirations why I decided to, write the book.
Okay, and then I just wanted to ask, why 48? 48 is a random number, such a random number. Why not 40 or 50? Why 48 laws of selling? Why is it 48?
Now, for me to use the 48 laws is actually intentional. I understand the power of social media. I understand the power of Google, search engine optimization. I read a book some years ago with the title, The 48 Laws of Power.
Exactly.
That book was sold out to millions of people. So in the moment, in my moment of trying to get a topic, a lot of topics came to mind. So I now discovered that the 48 laws. So what it means is that if I can come up with a book that will also have the 48 laws, so once people go online and search for the 48 laws of power, definitely after that book, the 48 laws of selling will also pop up. So when I got that idea, I said, oh my God, I think I've gotten it. So, and honestly speaking, it's happening today. Some will have called my book The 48 Laws of Power. Before they, 48 Laws of Selling. So it's intentional. So that's how I use the word, the title, The 48 Laws of Selling.
Okay, in your book, you spoke about selling in the new economy.
Yes.
Some school of thoughts believe that traditional selling will soon be out of the digital market and sell. What are your views?
For me, right, the old cannot completely go out for the new. That is the truth. We still need the traditional selling. Now, for me, I define new method of selling as the new door. Why the old method of selling is the old door. We need both the new door and the old door. So, and if you look at the process in selling, there are about 7 stages.
Exactly.
And it is the same process that will now translate completely into online. So there's no way the old method of selling can completely, in fact, it would depend on what you are selling. That's the truth. We still need both. So I'm not of the school of thought that because we are now in the new line, because online is a new line, everyone has moved online, does not mean that, there are some deals that you can't close online. That's the truth. There are some deals you cannot close online. You need to meet people one-on-one. So definitely, yes, the online is fantastic, it's great, it has made our work easier, but definitely there's no way the old way of selling can completely be eradicated from the way we sell. So we still need the old way of selling. So just combine the two.
So, in sales, you're only as good as your last big sale that came in. So what are the knowledge needed for repeated bigger sales?
Yeah, for me, right, selling is a game of numbers. And for you to always have repeat businesses, one of the things you need to learn or you need to understand is the power of customer service. Because in my book, the 48 laws the 48 laws of selling, I define customer service as the innovative, experience before, during, and after a purchase. So if a customer have a wonderful experience before they buy your product, they have another experience while they are buying their product, they have the other experience after they have bought your product, there's every tendency that you're going to sell more to them and they can also tell others about your product. So superior customer service is a major, that we need to be able to have repeat businesses. And number two, we need strong relationship. People buy people.
Exactly.
People buy from people they know, people they trust, and people they like. So for us to be able to really sell more and have repeated businesses, we need to build strong relationship.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So let me just draw you back to the last question when we spoke about new economy. What are the contemporary skills required to sell in the new economy?
Now, for me, we have multiple contemporary, skill required to sell. Number one, you need to be able to understand your target audience. Because whatever product you are pushing out there, you are not pushing the product for the over 8 billion, over 4 billion users on the internet. So you need to be able to identify who are the target audience, who are the people that need my product. And once you're able to target your audience, number two, you need the ability to be able to build relationship. You have identified them. How do I nurture them? So identification of your target audience, nurturing and building relationship with them. Then number three, you need the ability to be able to understand people's needs. Ask relevant questions, online, offline. So the ability to be able to analyze people's needs will help you to sell. And number four, effective presentation. How do you pitch? How do you present your product? So it's another major skill, either online and offline. You need to be able to effectively project your product there. And the fifth skill you need is the ability to handle objection. There's nothing you sell on this side of the heaven, either online and offline, that people will not object. In fact, objections are indication to sales for me. So when people say, oh, I don't want to be objected, oh, I'm afraid, oh, because of objections, you shut down and close shop. No. Objections are indication to sales. So the ability for you to be able to handle objection either online or offline is a major skill that sellers need to develop. And I always tell people in my training, the Bible says Jesus came to his own and they rejected him. That was objection. So if they rejected Jesus, who am I? So objection is part of business. Yeah. So you need that ability to handle objection and manage your emotion well. And finally, on that note, the ability to close deal almost doesn't count in sales. Nobody will report, oh my God, Bala almost closed the deal.
Exactly.
So it's either you close the deal or you lose the deal. So you need the ability to be able to close the deal. And finally, I think the seventh skill there is that we need to be able to work with, take advantage of other people's network. And that's the power of referral. In fact, that principle works. I share a lot on that in my trainings. You may not have all the network, but you know people that have powerful network. So you can leverage on other people's network. It's called OPN. It's a major skill that can help anyone to sell either online or offline.
Thank you so much, Femi. So your final thoughts and where can we get a copy of the 48 Laws of Selling?
My final thought is simple to everyone watching me out there, and I always, say this over and over again. the number one skill everyone must have is the ability to sell. Because we are all selling something. Now you're a pastor, whatever you do out there, even for a job seeker, when you go for a job interview, you are going to sell yourself. So everyone must learn, go online, get materials, get my book. In fact, if you don't know anything at all about selling, I started with the law of sales fundamentals. In fact, from the beginning, you will learn what it means for you to sell. So for me, I encourage everyone out there, because new world, we are in a new environment, and we need to learn how to sell. So go online there and develop the required skill to sell. And on the final note, people buy people. People buy from people they know, from people they trust, and from people they like. So what it means that we need to build relationship with people if you want to sell. Increase your likability if you want to sell. And if you want to get a copy of this book, you can just go to my website, www.femijoshua.com. We have the soft copy there. We have the audio version now. This is the hard file we have sold out, but you can also get this on Amazon. If you can go to Amazon, just click the 48 Laws of Selling by Femi Joshua. So if you want the the video copy, go to my website, www.femijoshua.com. And if you want this physical copy or the e-copy, you can send message to 0905 888 8843. 0905 888 8843, and we'll be glad to receive you into our community. Thank you, and God bless you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Femi.
Thank you.
You've heard it all from Dr. Femi Joshua, a veteran salesman. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please tune into our next episode. Thank you. Bye.